How do you hold this leash the best way to keep your dog safe? To keep your dog from bolting away, to protect your dog if you trip and fall? Well, let's look at the ways that you don't want to hold it. If you hold it like this and your dog sees a squirrel, gone that fast. If you hold it like this and your dog gets spooked by a motorcycle, gone. If you're holding it like this and you trip and fall, gone. So, what do you do to keep your dog safe? It's actually very, very simple. You're going to put your hand through, turn, and grab. I like to grab with my fingers like this. You can grab it with your thumb. It doesn't matter. You see how the dog is pulling? But the important thing is it's across the back of your hand. The front of your hand is here, and you are holding onto it in some way. So this gives you double protection. Right now, I'm not holding on at all, and I'm yanking, and it's hanging on from the tension on the back of my hand. If I'm holding on to it, that dog is going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. If this dog pulls and I release, that is going nowhere. If I trip and fall, the first thing you do when you trip and fall is everything goes like this, right? You hit the ground like that. And your instinct is going to be to hang on to that leash. Okay, now what do you do if you have a dog who pulls a lot and you find this kind of hurts because it hits nerves right through here, which happens. It's very easy. You hold on to it here like this, and you're going to wrap it around like that. Now this is taking the tension off of here, and you're holding on to it here. So you have full control right here. And this is fairly loose. It's not putting any tension on the nerves. If your dog pulls, you can completely let go, and this leash is going nowhere. It's going absolutely nowhere. If you're in an emergency situation and all you have is a flat collar, which goes right over the head, and a leash, you can make an emergency figure 8. So you hook. There's two ways you can do it. The first way you can do it is you hook here, under, through the collar.
Well, let me just show you going over the top, okay?
And you have an emergency figure 8 using the collar. Now, if the dog is throat sensitive, if the collar is too loose, this is not the best and most safe way to do it. The most safe way to do it, if you are in an absolute emergency situation and you are certain that this dog is absolutely terrified, is to make yourself a slip lead from the leash.
Turn this from the side. There we go. That slip lead
Okay,
around
so
the neck.
you put the hook through the handle.
Hold on, I'm going to get on the... Sorry.
So hook through the handle.
Yep.
Under the chest, continuing in the same direction. Hook back through the handle.
Right.
So this is very, very short. You're not going to be able to take a full walk this way, but this is a completely escape-proof emergency figure 8. So if you are, if your dog jumps out of the car and you're on the freeway, you have to get into the vet for an emergency situation, this will get you back to safety. So in an emergency situation, when we do not have a martingale, but we do have a harness with a top hook and a bottom hook, how does having 2 leashes help prevent emergency escape?
So the way 2 leashes helps is that I normally lead her on the back leash because that's what she's used to and that's the most comfortable for her. But if she starts to get upset and tries pulling backwards out of the harness, if I pull forward on this back clip, I'm just helping her slip that harness over her ribs. Wait, Chewy. Wait. Good job. If I have the front leash, what I can do is use it to turn her, and I can walk into her. So now she's turning instead of backing up, and the harness is going to slide back onto her. You can see what she does when I apply this pressure. She's trying to back up because she's confused, and I can keep turning her. Good job, Bowie.
And now she says, I love my mommy.
Now I've got her coming forward instead of backing out, and you don't often need to do that for very long to prevent them escaping. You walk gently into them to release that pressure, and you turn. And you want to turn and turn and turn until they're coming towards you. Come on, shoot me.
And if you did not have the front clip, if you just had a regular harness and you realized that you didn't have your connector, so go ahead and take the front one off,
Baby.
and she tries to back out,
So
what would you do?
So if it's the same thing as with 2 leashes, it's just a little harder. If she's trying to back out, what I don't want to do is pull forward and help her pull the harness off. I want to relax the leash. Remember that I'm still holding it. We're safe. It doesn't need to be tight. And I want to try to get behind her and get her turning. So I'm gonna. She's not coming towards me, or she's not backing away from me.
She's
so
not.
it's a
She's
little
not. She's
harder
not
to
being
show.
afraid. She's not helping.
Yeah, come here. However, what I'm going to do is continually try to get behind her so that she can't back out, and she's probably going to face me, or if she's backing, she'll back into me and I can block her. See, now she's turning. So what she's not doing is getting out of the harness. And the secret is not to fall into the stress response most of us have, which is to pull. And then that actually encourages them. See how she's bracing against me? That encourages them to back out.
So you walk towards her.
Towards and behind.
Towards and behind.
Towards and behind. Towards and behind. She's like, I prefer to turn this way. And then I'm just going to keep turning her, and I'm going to keep this leash as loose as I can, as long as I'm holding it and the harness is on her. If I can get behind her and she backs into me, what I would probably do is pick her up. Mm-hmm. And then we would get the hell out of the situation that is scaring her, right? Good job.
Hands-free leashes. These can be great. These can also be very, very dangerous. First thing is you want to make sure you choose the right gear. You can use either a waist belt or you can use a crossbody belt, but you want to choose a system that is designed for use with a dog, not just a regular fanny pack. The reason being is you need very, very sturdy rings. You need sturdy buckles, because a regular fanny pack that you get on Amazon or Target is not meant to have a 60-pound or even a 20-pound dog take off after a squirrel. And you don't want your dog to get loose because of equipment failure, and you don't want to get knocked over and have your bones broken. So one really important piece of a hands-free leash is this elastic part. Because, again, you don't want to fall over and have your bones broken when your dog goes after a squirrel. It should have 2 hooks, 1 hook for the pack, 1 hook for you, and it has to have handles. So here's the thing, and this is going to sound funny. A hands-free leash is not actually hands-free. You are still supposed to hold on to the handle. The hook is a backup safety device, so that when you are walking your dog and you fall and you have arthritis and your dog goes after a squirrel and you drop the leash, you don't have to worry about your dog getting away. And the other thing too is leash communication. Your dog communicates with you through this leash, and it really is important to have this contact and this two-way communication by holding on to this leash. A hands-free leash can be great with a small dog, with a dog that you have had for a while and you are able to completely predict what it's going to do, who is well trained, who does not go in circles around you, and who is not reactive. And reactive just means the dog has more than usual reaction to outside stimuli. So that could be it's reactive to other dogs. It wants to play or it wants to fight. Reactive to cars. It wants to chase cars or it wants to run away from cars. Reactive to trash cans. It wants to run away or it wants to bite. To bicycles. Wants to run away or wants to bite. So reactive just means it has a higher than normal reaction. And hands-free leashes are not good for reactive dogs, dogs with high prey drives, dogs who are large, dogs who are not well trained, or dogs who are new to you and you don't know what they're going to do. Reason being that even if you are holding this handle, people have a tendency to become reliant, and people are people, and at some point you're going to put a lot more expectation on this. And at some point, this dog is going to take off and go after a squirrel, is going to run away from a car, and is going to yank you and pull you over, and you are going to fall down and hurt yourself. car leashes. One of the biggest ways that dogs get loose is you open up the car door and the dog jumps out. So, this is your dog. We are going to tether the dog into the car. There are several ways. We can use a seatbelt plug. Wink, seatbelt plug. You can use a regular leash that you have. We're going to pretend that we're pretending that this is the post for your headrest. All you do is you take a regular leash and you loop it around like that and go like that. And now you have a car tether. Okay, obviously this is attached to your headrest. Boop. You can also attach it to the grab bar up on top. You can attach it to any hard point in your car. Okay, so now your dog is attached in your car. You open your car door, your dog cannot jump out. What do? You let it go and just let it run away? No. What you do is you take your leash in your hand, you attach it, and you hold this in your hand before you unattach that.